Look, we need to address the debt limit and do it as soon as possible. We need to pay our bills. This debt, without question, was accrued by members of both parties, including $8 trillion from the last administration, from the Trump administration. We need to pay our bills, so let's get it done as quickly as possible.
Mr. Prime Minister, for your leadership on the coronavirus, on climate, and so many other challenges of our global community. Thank you, President Elisabetta Castellata, for your leadership, your hospitality here today, and the wonderful role that you play as a woman and for women as President of the Italian Senate. Speaker Fico, thank you for the invitation to participate in this meeting. Friends, this is the fourth meeting I will be having in recent time with Speaker Fico on the topics of the summit. Our colleague from the UK, Mr. Hoyle, can attest that we've all learned a great deal from him in our meetings. It's always a welcomed opportunity for me to come to Italy to celebrate the firm bonds between our two countries, the United States and Italy, which is rooted in our shared history, values, and interest in global security. And personally, as the first Italian-American Speaker of the House of Representatives, I take special pride in the Italian-American community in America that is a strong link in U.S.-Italy relations. It's a privilege to be with leaders of the Parliament of the G20 and guest countries for this important summit to discuss the greatest challenges of our time and the opportunity to address them. In that spirit, I quote President Biden's words spoken last month at the UN General Assembly. We stand, in my view, at an inflection point in history. Our security, our prosperity, and our very freedoms are interconnected as never before. And so we must work together as never before. And I'll just talk about America for a moment. In the early days of our revolution, in the darkest days of the revolution, a philosopher and patriot, Thomas Paine, said, "The times have found us. The times have found us. The times found them to declare independence, to fight a war and win and establish the American democracy." The times had found them. Nearly 100 years later, the times found Abraham Lincoln to fight and win a war to keep that American democracy as one country. In the next century, in the 20th century, the Second World War broke out around the world. The times found leaders of the free world to become allies to fight evil and make the world safe for liberty and peace. And today, the times have found us, each and every one of us, to save the people from COVID and to save the planet from the existential threat of the climate crisis. Now not that we place ourselves in the category of greatness of those who went before, but we recognize the urgency of the challenge that we face, and we must address it. On the climate crisis, many of the parliaments here have long recognized.
Now, many of you can expect a stimulus payment in the mail very soon. In a recent report to the IRS, the agency stated that the federal government loses about $166 billion in revenue to tax avoidance each year. So in hopes of limiting tax evasion, the Biden administration has proposed a new rule that will allow the government to monitor bank accounts with over $600 in them. Now, the move has sparked outrage by Republicans, who see it as a prime example of government overreach. The proposal would mandate that each year financial institutions report gross inflows and outflows, with a breakdown of physical cash, transactions with a foreign account, and transfers to and from another account with the same owner. So to cover the cost of the bipartisan infrastructure package, the reconciliation bill, lawmakers on Capitol Hill have been eagerly accessing various ways to reduce tax evasion, which is where the idea gained traction. Most people who earn income through formal employment would not be impacted by the change, as the IRS already knows how much money one makes based on a W-2 account. Additionally, most people in the United States do not have an additional or foreign bank account to hide funds from the Treasury, so the people impacted are generally wealthier. For those who own their own business, the IRS has less access and relies on self-reported financial information, which leaves room for avoidance. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the new rule would be an attempt to provide the same level of financial detail on those individuals as the IRS has on low and middle class workers. Janet Yellen disagrees, arguing that the continuation of the status quo will do severe damage to the US economy in the long run, because the loss in revenue deprives the government of the resources to make America more productive and competitive. Some within the business community worry about the security infrastructure package needed to protect financial information as it is transferred to the IRS. Additionally, some Republican lawmakers have flagged the issues that the IRS has been keeping financial information private. Now, the total number of Americans submitting jobless claims fell sharply last week, as enhanced federal unemployment benefits would down the labor market. The number came at a time when most crisis-related programs that extended unemployment benefits are winding down. Stock market futures rose slightly following the report, adding to already strong gains that the government bonds also were higher. The weekly total was the lowest level since September 4th, and reverses a trend of rising claims over the past 3 weeks. Continuing claims, which ran a week behind, in total those who have filed for at least 2 weeks of benefits, also posted a healthy decline. California distributed a third round of Golden State stimulus checks, including the first batch that will be delivered by mail to eligible residents. Approximately 705,000 payments were issued, with an estimated total value of $480 million. The number includes 375,000 paper checks that were sent out in the first batch of mailings, as well as approximately 330,000 payments that were dispersed by direct deposit. Now, checks can take up to 3 weeks to arrive once mailed. While direct deposits typically show up within a few business days, people can also check California's wait times dashboard, which has more details on refund processing times. Payments by direct deposit are expected to continue through at least October, while checks will be periodically mailed to the beginning of next year. To date, more than 3.3 million second Golden State stimulus payments, valuing over $2.3 billion, have been distributed to Californians who reported earnings of up to $75,000 on the 2020 tax return. A total of $12 billion in direct relief is expected to be sent out under the state's expanded program, which will benefit an estimated 2/3 of California's population. The stimulus funds have been touted by officials as the largest tax rebate ever in the United States. Under the second Golden State stimulus check, California is sending out payments of up to $600 to individuals that qualify, and Social Security recipients who have other forms of income could be eligible for the money as well. So that's all the news I have for you guys in this video. If you have any more questions about this, then be sure to leave them in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great day.